I appreciate you guys coming out here with me today. I know it's kind of rainy and dreary, but I figured it'd be a good day to get out of the house and not edit any more videos. I've been doing a lot of that lately, trying to get caught back up. But I thought what we would do is explore a neat old house that you may be able to see behind me. And it's got some cool outbuildings too. I think it dates from probably the early 1800s. It was probably lived into around 1900, 1930 maybe. And I thought it would be just kind of a really cool thing to look at today, providing there's no deer hunters out here. Like right in between seasons. It comes in again tomorrow, Friday. So in 2 days it comes back in again with muzzleloaders. So I definitely don't want to be out there then. But if you look down here, see that water? That's the Potomac River right there. And this was an old homestead. And I believe there might have been a ford right here, although the books show a ford about half a mile down that way. But I suspect it was right here because there's another old house right on the other side of the river that dates to like the early 1700s. It's actually on one of the land patent maps, and it's no longer there, by the way. But anyway, this is the cool old house. What do you think, huh? I wanted to do this video at night, but I was too scared to come up here by myself. But it was a stone house, you can see that, and it's got some neat outbuildings. Let's walk up here and look at it. It'll be a little bit quiet just in case. This is actually on Park Service. There is a hunt club right over the hill here though, so there might be deer hunters out here, although it's illegal. But you can see there's some metal here that's probably not that old, maybe 1930s or so. Got some cool old bricks, so you can see little bricks here. Look at that. When I was coming up the hill, these were all over the place. This is probably from the chimneys, although I don't see any bricks up there, so maybe it was from something else. I love old places like this, but you know, I really am saddened to think that they were just abandoned and they fell apart. Although it could have burned, I guess. Well, look how the wall is caved in. Isn't that cool? Maybe that tree is pushing it over. I don't know. Here's some old bottles, mason jars or something. Yeah, see, they're not that old, really, are they? That might even be closer to the 50s or 60s. Like I said, I haven't really been up here very much. Wow, look at that. That's one weird thing about this place. There's some bricks right there. That's where the bricks are coming from, where they face the insides. One thing kind of odd about this house is there's no real fireplaces in here, except for this little tiny thing right here, which isn't much of anything. I mean, I don't even know if that's a real fireplace, is it? Let's look at it. Like the tiniest little fireplace, if it even is one. I suppose it is, because it is beveled in like that. But let's look up it. You see anything up there? Man, I don't know. See, that's not even a fireplace, is it? Oh, maybe it is. It's a little tiny hole, though, for a chimney. Santa wouldn't fit down there, would he? Would he? Santa. Well, anyway, my point being that is not much of a fireplace for a giant house like this, because this was a monster of a house. I mean, you see, it had a big room here in the basement, another one over there. And it looks like it was primarily set up for wood stoves. This is where you'd put a wood stove right here, a pipe full wood stove, and it would go out into the house, probably into the kitchen area. I think it's probably another one right up there. They probably had the same thing on that wall too. Oh, that wall is gone now, obviously. I just love these old places. The plaster, you can see it was right on the inside. I don't see any writing or anything. This was definitely here during the Civil War. And in fact, right over there is a big Civil War camp that I've hunted. A lot. On private property, by the way. There's a house built on it now. See how the walls are pushed in here too? I think it's because of that tree. Legend has it, many years ago, a friend of mine came up here and found a gold coin in this basement before this house had all collapsed. This might have been 30, 40 years ago, I don't know. The guy's long since passed away, but there could be some old gold coins down there. But it's park, so we'll never know. One thing to look for to kind of date a house, if you're interested in dating a house, and by dating I mean figure out how old it is, look at the nails. See, these are round nails. They weren't really invented or used much until about 1880 or so, when they invented the machine to make them. And well, obviously, that door frame has been replaced since the original house was built. Let's look at these windows over here and see if there's any square nails. Yes, these are all around here. I suspect. Yeah, those are all around. So these were all replaced after 1880. Now, I know the house was here before the Civil War because it's on the maps. And I suspect if we look around a little bit more, we will find a lot of square nails. Oh, boy, isn't that cool? You have to wonder about the people who lived and died here. Always look too when you're at these kind of places for the big flat rocks, because sometimes people would carve their names in them and dates, especially on the corners. You would see something carved, but I don't see any in this house. Alright, let's go around this way and see what we can find. There's an old cistern over here I want to show you guys too. But I actually stuck the camera down in it, but it was only about 2 feet deep. So it was terrible. I think there's a dead raccoon in it. I might include that video and this one. It was actually, I actually did it a few months ago when I was up here with my wife. I didn't make a real video because we were just goofing off. Always be careful of these rocks. Yeah, see those round nails. Neat, huh? That's a log house down there. We'll go check that thing out too. Yeah, this is a cistern. Let me show it to you. I was hoping there's going to be a well here, and I want to drop the camera down it, but this is all I could find. And there's a dead raccoon in there. I don't see him now, but what I did is when I first came here with my wife, there were no logs in here like this. It was just an open hole. So the animals could come through the woods and they'd like fall in there, and there's no possible way for them to get out. So any raccoons or deer or skunks or anything, once they got in there, they would drown. So I put these logs in here so that if something falls in, they can just scramble up the logs and get out again. They'll probably last a decade or so. Some people say, and I have in the past, you know, say to put something over the top. But I have discovered that even if I put a piece of tin over the top with a big rock or two on it, kids will come along or other people will come along and they'll take the stuff off to look in to see what's in there, and they don't put it back. So I think it's better to just go ahead and put some logs in there so that things can get out. I think over in there is where the deer hunters are, but they shouldn't be out today because we're between seasons, like I said. It's archery, but chances of getting shot with a bow out here today is pretty slim. Well, I hope it's pretty slim anyway. It's pretty cool though, isn't it? I love exploring places like this. Just a lot of fun. You never know what you're going to find. Maybe some bodies. Dang, some bodies in there. No, I didn't plant any bodies down here. God. Yeah, there's some logs here. That's kind of cool. These are round nails still, which is interesting. Look at all the bricks. Why do you think all the bricks are down here? That's strange. I don't see anything in here. There's a skeleton. That's a raccoon. He died. There's a little wood stove. That's pretty cool, huh? Somebody probably lived in here, or at least spent a lot of time in here, because they had a stove. And that's the pipe right there, where the pipe would go out for the smoke and the heat. This is a cool little place. I love this little building. I really wanted to come up here and do a video at night. I actually started to one night, but I kind of got freaked out and didn't make it up the hill. I don't know why, but this is a cool little place. Here's some buzzard feathers. Maybe in the spring there'll be a mama and baby buzzard in here we can come visit. Alright, let's go down the hill to this other building. It's really, really cool. I think you'll like this. No, I sure did. Doesn't look like much from up here, but look! It's like a secret building down there. I guess this is the root cellar where they would store their food, and it would stay cool. So it's underground and it would stay a lot cooler down there. But isn't that beautiful? I mean, just look at that. It's gorgeous. Let's go down and see what's down there. There's no raccoons. I don't see any. Wow, look. Isn't that beautiful? Wouldn't have to worry about much getting you down here about in that door. Of course, you might have to worry about getting out if they didn't want you to get out, though, wouldn't you? I'm always amazed at the architecture, how they can stack the rocks like this. You know how they did that? So that these were like this? They would actually build wood up along the sides and then arch wood over the top and stack the rocks on all the way across, and then they'd take the wood down and they would just lock into place by their own weight. Isn't that cool? Look at these nails. Yeah, those are square nails right there. That's a rosehead nail, I believe. What do you think? I think that's a rosehead nail? Hand forged. Alright, let's go and explore the outside some more. I just love that look right there, that gray look, that gray weathered look. Isn't that neat? It's a shame that this is going to rot away to nothing. And we, the citizens of the United States, own this. And the Park Service is letting it fall apart. So that's a shame, but what are you going to do, I suppose? That's a neat little ring. Probably tied, you know, a horse or something to that, or a goat, or hung something on there. Alright, let's go up here. There's an area where there's big walls and stuff, where there's a giant barn. I think that would be kind of cool to explore. I'm going to whistle a little bit, just to make sure there's no deer hunters out there. They'll think, you know, they'll at least know I'm here. Hold your ears. Always make lots of noise when you're in the woods during hunting season. Now, if there's anybody in this area, they know that I'm here. They know that there's some goofball walking through the woods, so chances are I won't get shot. At least I hope not. When I was here a few months ago, there were a bunch of tree stands, and I'll show them to you. But like I said, everybody should be out of the woods today, because we're in between seasons. It's almost Christmas. It's like 50-some degrees out here. Beautiful, beautiful weather. Love this global warming. Alright, I'm going to whistle one more time. I think if there were any hunters out here, they would holler at us by now. Told us to go away. That's cool, isn't it? Look at that. Look how the barbed wire's on the inside of the tree. That was probably wrapped around the outside when it was growing. Now it's on the inside, so if you ever like cut this for firewood, you'd have a very bad day with your chain. Isn't that beautiful, giant stone wall there? I mean, this was a well-to-do place. It makes you wonder why they abandoned it, because it didn't look like it burned. I mean, the wood was still on the inside of the house, wasn't it? All right, let's walk up here, see what we can see. A bunch of deer stands out here somewhere. I remember seeing them. They don't have it marked as to where the Park Service starts and stops, and there's no trespassing signs either, so I don't really know where the boundary is, but I assume it's probably that cleared area right there. We're probably still on Park Service. So we're safe as far as getting yelled at, but not safe as far as getting shot. Yeah, there's no deer stands down here. As we work our way up to the cleared area, we'll have to be careful though. I think we'll probably go onto private property right about in here. But I wanted to show you this barn. Yeah, see, if this was Park Service, they would not be allowed to clear that. I needed to show you this because it's just so cool. The giant rocks they used. I mean, just amazing. I hope we don't get shot. Alright. If there's anybody around here, I'm sure they would have heard that. Because they really can't see too far in here. Alright, cool. Excellent. Well, let's look at the rocks. What do you say? I wanted to show you this. I just think this is amazing. Put a lot of money into this back in the day. Look at these things. Aren't they gorgeous? It's just a beautiful, beautiful rock. It is so neat. And this was the barn. It was a giant barn. I mean, it's much larger than most of the barns you see in this area. It's called a bank barn because it's built into the bank like that. And that's very common in the part of the country I live in, which is the Mid-Atlantic. It was settled by Germans, and the Germans like bank barns. This place could talk, huh? Ah, so cool. I guarantee you there's some soldiers in here. Hey, you know what this is? This thing here? This is part of a lightning rod system, which has been on the house. And this is where the lightning rod would have screwed into it. And they had all different kinds of lightning rods. They had like little pointy things and stars and all kinds of cool brass designs. And a lot of people see those and think that they're flag tips from like the Civil War, but they're really lightning rods. I have a bunch in my basement I can show you if you want to see them. But if you see them on eBay, flag staffs, you know, flag tips and stuff from the Civil War, chances are it's a lightning rod tip, because there's a lot of those around. Isn't this cool? Look at that door. That's just so cool. I just love being able to walk through things like this. Of course, you get shot as soon as I step through. I don't whistle too good, but that's good enough. All right, we're safe. And as I was saying, this is called a bank barn. You can see how they would bank up the side of it, or build it into a bank so they could get the wagons and the horses and stuff right up inside the barn. And that's where they put all their hay. Let's go up there and look at that. I actually have not been up there in a long time. Well, probably 20 years. These briars right here are multi-floor rose. They are horrible. It's an invasive species which actually is dying out because they brought a virus. I don't know what that is. Got a pile of stuff over there. That must be deer bait or something. It's legal to bait deers. I don't know what that is. Deers. That's my West Virginia relic, Bob. Deers. You know I love you, Bob. Alright, let's see what we have up here. So again, this is the bank barn. This is where they had a ramp coming up into the barn. And this is a huge barn. It really is. And they could get the wagons in here and they'd have the hay stacked up in here. Animals down below. Really, I actually grew up on a farm very similar to this. It wasn't stone like that, but it had a big bank barn. You know, that German influence of the big bank barn like this. They actually call it Pennsylvania Dutch. You ever heard the term Pennsylvania Dutch? You know what that means? It doesn't mean Dutch. Most people think that it's really Dutch. It's German. They call it Pennsylvania Dutch because the word German in German is Deutsch. So it's actually Pennsylvania Deutsch. And it just kind of evolved, you know, being America, into Pennsylvania Dutch. So you always hear about the Pennsylvania Dutch country, where they have the Amish and Mennonites and stuff. I wonder what that is. Looks like potatoes. You think it's potatoes? Usually you see apples or corn. You have to be a little careful here. You can see this pile of food. And there's a cleared area right here. See that cleared area? This is a firing lane. So somebody has a tree stand or a stand up there. And they're hoping that something crosses here. And they can blast them with a rifle from up on the hill. So I'm going to whistle again. Oh, they should have heard that once they're deaf. I don't see anybody out there. But always keep your eyes open, even when you're metal detecting during hunting season. Yeah, I don't see a stand, but they would, you know, be set up over there somewhere. I don't see any trees moving or took them down. Let's go see what this is. What do you think it is? A potato. Can't be potatoes, can it? Oh my God, it's potatoes. How bizarre. I have never seen, probably a trap. I'm going to reach out and grab a potato and go whipping up in the air in a big net. You know I'm going to. What would eat potatoes? I mean, something eats potatoes. Maybe a mouse. That's bizarre. I've never seen that. Oh, they're still good. We could eat them. Yeah, that's nice. Quite edible. That's a stand right there. You can see it. You can kind of see that thing in the woods. That's where it'd be sitting in there with a rifle, so you can shoot any deer that crosses in here, or comes up to eat the potatoes. That's bizarre. Alright, so let's just wander back down toward the house here. Hey, what's this? Look. I know what that is. Look at this. See this dome? You know what that means, don't you? That means that's a roof to something. I bet there's a big cistern here, and I hope there's not something really disgusting down in it. And by a cistern, I guess you guys know what I'm talking about. That's where they would capture the rainwater from the roof and the gutters and run it down into a big container in the ground for water for their animals. Because where we're at here, although the river is very close, there's no springs up here, and apparently they can't dig a well here. There's probably no water close enough to the surface, so they use cisterns. I'm always halfway afraid to look in those things, because you never know what you're going to see. Are we brave enough? I hope there's no... Oh, dude. That's a death trap. Oh my god. Ah, looks like it's open on the end down there. Whew. I always hate to see things like that animals can fall in or people can fall in and not be able to get out. But it looks like they probably broke this end open so that people could get out at least, but animals couldn't. What do you think? Yeah, that'd be tough. I guess a raccoon might be able to scurry out of there. I don't see any dead ones in there. Should we go down and look at it? What do you think? Alright, let's go down and look at it. If we can get in here. Multi-floor rows. Of course, I probably won't be able to get out. It'd be like the Blair Witch Project. You know, they'll just find a camera with my Alaska Life selfie stick on it that I found on the river a few months ago. And that'll be it. I don't know. What do you think? Should we risk it? Yeah, let's go down and look. I'm going to have to turn the camera off. All right, so we made it down inside. It's really not that high. We can get out of there pretty easy. This is kind of neat. Look how they built it with the... I guess they just built right over the rocks. That's probably a rock ledge under there. And they just kind of put the mortar right over top of that. That's pretty cool though, huh? Bandito. Well, this wasn't as amazing as I was going to hope it would be. Oh, there's a skull. Yeah. Oh, skulls. So this little guy didn't make it out. This little guy didn't make it out. See bones all through here. And we know at least two of the animals didn't get out of here. That's so sad, isn't it? There's another one. There's a third. That looks like a bird. Is it? No, that's the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and put a tree down in here like I did with the cistern up there. See more bones scattered around. That's so sad. But you know what? I think pretty much anything could get out of here now, though, because they could get up here. Almost any animal could climb up there and get out. Maybe not a deer, but deer's not going to climb up a stick anyway. At least no deer that I want to meet in the woods would be able to climb up a log to get out of there. Alright. Let's go back out of here. You first. The first thing I did when I crawled out of there is I went ahead and whistled again. Just to make sure no one came upon us when we were down in the hole. I see something weird over here on this wall I want to go look at. Looks like some type of hole in the wall. I don't know if that's just where it collapsed or not, but I think we ought to check that out. What do you think? You up for it? Go over here. I don't know if we should jump down there or not. I mean, typically it doesn't look too bad, but I'm just afraid to put a nail through my boot. I think we'll be okay though. I don't see any wood down there, so. Alright, ready? Hey, bend your knees. There you go. That's how you do it. Multi-floor rows, you remember that? Alright, let's go over here and look at this real quick. And then we'll get out of here, because this is probably not as exciting to you as it is to me. Concrete. You don't see concrete in Civil War era places very much, although they did have it. That's more like turn of the century, 1900s and on. Well, 1880s maybe. This is what I was looking at. I guess it's just where the rocks fell off. But you always want to kind of peek around a little bit. farm I grew up on had bottles in the back corners. Had bottles all stacked along there of gin, and the bottles dated to like the mid 1800s. So it's really cool. That was probably one, you know, that is probably one of the first things that I found exploring old places like that when I was a kid, and I would have been probably seven years old. Maybe that's one of the little sparks that got me into this kind of stuff and treasure hunting. Now, why did they do that? What is the purpose of the 2 blocks of wood? It makes absolutely no sense to me. And they're down low, so they're in the area where there'd be a lot of urine from the horses or the cows or whatever they kept in there. Why would they put wood there? Why? Isn't that a cool little mystery? Why did they do that? Makes absolutely no sense to me. You can see where they used, obviously had to use the wood for the beams. And that's what these little cutouts are here for. So the giant beams would have gone across. You can see another one here, and they'll be all the way down the wall. So they could put the floor on the thing, but I don't know why they would put wood down that low. It just makes no sense at all to me. I wonder if it's the same over here. I'll be watching for nails. Those are not good. Nah. Could be covered up, I suppose, but I don't really see that same type of thing over here. Isn't it cool how they use those big rocks like that? I mean, what was going through their head to say, oh, let's use those giant rocks right there? You know? I'm glad they did, because it's beautiful. But why? Wow, I love it. Probably got all kinds of gold coins stuck in these holes right here. Isn't that neat? Alright. Let's walk down toward the house again and see if there's anything amazing out here. I had metal detected this part years and years ago. Here's some whiskey bottles, but these aren't very old. 1 pint, because screw tops, you know, they're not very old at all. Well, heck, I guess now they could be 50 or 60 years old, but that's really not old to me. 50 or 60. God, it's scary when you think about it. This would be a really cool place to live, though, wouldn't it? No, obviously not in that house, but I mean, to have like a house up on that hill, right? Build a nice, you know, open house up there and have all this for your yard. Wouldn't that just be great? You know, kind of preserve it, get it back into shape as best you can. It's just really cool. All right, back to the house. Let's see what we can find in the woods. This is kind of an interesting building here too. That's the one that had the stove in it. Looks like somebody might have lived in it. And hey, you know what this is? Huh? Do ya? Sure you do. That's the top of a pump that would have gone on the cistern up there. That's where the gears and stuff would have been when you cranked it. And they had all different kinds of pumps. You know, they had the kind that you'd pump like that, and they had kind that you'd crank. It had like little cups on it. You like cups on a chain, and little cups go out and dump, go up and dump. We had one like that where the farm I grew up on. I don't know what that is. What's that? Must be some type of little chair or something. Up to a car or a buggy or something. I don't know. See anything cool in there? Wow, neat. Hey, I know a really cool place we ought to go check out. Yeah, I know a really neat place to go check out next. Not today, but later. Working my way back up to this building. Here's a big bone. That's obviously not a deer bone. It's probably a cow or a horse from when this place was in operation. There's the river. You can see the river nice right there. That's the Potomac. That's a really cool river, and that's the C&O Canal, the park. Well, we're standing on it now. The park I'm standing on is called the C&O Canal National Historical Park. And it's a very narrow national park that runs from Cumberland, Maryland, all the way down to DC, and has a bike path on it. It's really cool. It's like 170 miles long. Really great little park. In fact, it goes right by my house. I'm just a few miles upriver from here on a milk bottle. Can't keep it though because we're parked. Probably shouldn't even touched it. All right, let's get the heck out of here. I'll show you the river on the way out. This is pretty cool. We should have done this at night, huh? Hey, look. It's human. Is that human? Oh, it is. Not. All right. One more up here. There's probably all kinds of neat relics in the ground around here, but we'll never see them. Hey, wonder what that is. Look at that. Oh, okay, that's like a secret compartment. But this is the inside of the root cellar that we were just looking at. Right here. I guess that was the ventilation. I don't suppose that would have been a smokehouse because you didn't need to have it underground. To be a smokehouse, there's no reason to have it underground, so I guess that it's got to be a root cellar. So I'll look at the corners here one more time. Make sure there's nothing written on them that might be of interest. I don't see any. A lot of times they'd be the ones that are way up high. I've actually seen that in several houses in this area, but I think those rocks are gone. See any gold? Ah, is that gold? Look, is that gold? Right there. Maybe that's gold. That's quartz and some limestone. I don't see any gold in there. Ooh, what's that? That's kind of disgusting looking. I think somebody hawked a loogie over there. Guess we'll leave that one alone. Hey, there's somebody's writing here. Did we make that out? Can you make it out? No, can't make it out. Some blue. Oh well. There's some more. This is probably some kid's height right here. I don't know. It goes the wrong way for heights, I suppose. Neat. Alright, I wonder what this little part of the house was. It had windows. Another cellar, I suppose. Yeah, we should go and look at it. What do you think? Think we can get in there? Well, I decided not to get down in that hole right there because of these types of nails and stuff, and it was kind of hard to get through there, and I was hoping I could get down from up here, but that's not going to happen. I don't see much to look at anyway. Alright, so that's going to end it today. We're going to go down. I'll show you a quick view of the river, and we'll go back and start some more editing. Joy. So this is the C&O Canal. This is the pathway, and the ruins of the house are right up there. You can see through this V. You can see one of the buildings. That's one of the wood buildings that we saw. And you can see the stones up there too. They're kind of a light color. And over here is the Potomac River. And I live just a few miles up that way. And again, this is a towpath with the canal. And just one quick story before we go. So I just have to share this with you because it's kind of funny. When I first moved to this area, I was 7 years old. And my parents brought me down here to see the C&O Canal. That was actually about 10 miles lower. And we parked the car in the parking lot, and I bounded across this ditch. And I got up to a berm like here, and I looked across at the canal. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, Dad. Thanks for bringing me down here. My poor father's like, son, I am disappointed. That little ditch you ran across, that's the canal. And sure enough, this is actually the canal. And where we were at is actually kind of smaller than this. This is where they would have the canal boats, and the mules would walk up here, and they would tow the barges back and forth. And they'd go all the way to Washington, D.C. I can get on my bike. I have my bike with me today. I can ride down to Washington, D.C., which is 70 miles from here. Or I could ride up that way to Cumberland, Maryland, which is about 70 miles from here. I'm about in the middle. Just a great little park if you like hiking and bike riding. I mean, bike riding, it's awesome. And there's all kinds of cool houses like that along it, too, that you can go explore. But no metal detecting. That's a federal offense. Isn't it just awesome? I love being out in the weather like this. I don't know why, but I think it just makes you feel alive. You know what I mean? It just, you know, when it's nice out, you know, that's nice. But when it's like this, you just feel it. I mean, it's uncomfortable, and some people don't like that, but I think that's what memories are made out of. Is not when you're having it really easy in life, but, you know, when things aren't going quite as well as you planned. Like today. Except I did plan this because I love getting out in the rain. It's a good excuse to get out in the rain. Although I don't really need an excuse to do that. This such a cool place. That's a dam right up there. It's still in operation. That power plant on the other side. It's the only one in the United States that uses hemp rope as part of the generation system. Kind of weird, huh? Neo Bandito. Oh, and during the Civil War, there was actually an engagement right there, and some Confederates got shot in the river and died. Pretty neat. Neat area. Neat day to be out. Alright, that's it for real this time.